Okay. Once we just fire away, boy, you guys are getting tired of listening to me anyway.
Nate, yesterday, did he get injured out there? Or
He's dislocated his finger. He'll be fine. They're just going to reset it, and he'll be okay.
Talk a little bit about the intensity, Coach.
It was really good. Really pleased with it the last couple of days.
It seems like it's picked up a little bit.
From when?
From the last week.
No, not really. This is kind of how we practice. Yeah, this is kind of how it is.
Did you get a chance to watch the film from last night?
I did, yeah. It was excellent. Just really good work. It was crisp, a lot of good learning, a lot of good things. I thought, like we talked about last night, the offensive line did a nice job protecting. And like we talked about with Brett, you know, he's the kind of guy that can erase a negative play and come back and make a positive play.
Did you learn any new starters or any new personnel-wise?
No.
How's Simon Goins looking to you now that he's back?
Well, you know, he's had a couple good days, and it took him a couple days to get back in the swing of things. And the last 2 days, he's really made improvement. So if we can keep him healthy and keep him working, he could be a guy that factors in. And then Jake got his really kind of his first contact work in that team run period. He did pretty good as well.
A number of freshmen you're working at corner and everything. What's the thing they got to keep in mind?
Keep the ball in front of them. No, there's a lot to think about out there. You know, I mean, it's a position that takes, you know, a lot of confidence, and they get out here against some older guys that have a little more savvy, and if they do get beat, they've got to learn how to recover. But in all seriousness, keep the ball in front of them and tackle it if the guy catches it. I know that sounds pretty rudimentary, but that's kind of the essence of it.
How helpful have Hester and Price been to those guys?
I think that they're helpful to a certain extent. You know, they're really concentrating on their own craft, so it's not like they spend hours with those guys, you know, teaching them all the little things. But I think just the fact that those kids can watch them on film and see the things that they do well, and watch how they practice and their practice habits and their work ethic, I think that's a positive.
Give you more comfort, the fact that you do have two seniors who are your starters there.
Yeah, and you know what? Not only two seniors, but two good-sized, experienced seniors. I think that's really important. I mean, I'm not too worried about the starters at that position. Still depth concerns because of inexperience, but with the starters.
But with senior starters like that, it allows the depth to kind of grow into the job.
It does. As long as they stay healthy, that's a great thing. Yeah, I feel good about those two guys. I like them a lot. They're both, I mean, they're both good-looking kids. You know, they're the right size, and they can run, and they're competitive, and it appears to me that they're playing the ball well in the air and playing with a lot of confidence.
Aaron and Jerry Johnson seem to have developed a little rivalry ever since spring practice. I mean, you talk about how that's going to help them.
Well, I think anytime two of your best players are competing against each other on a daily basis and taking it as serious as they're taking it, I think that's a real positive for both of them. You know, as long as it doesn't become contentious. Fix that for me, will ya? It's a good thing. It's a real good thing. You'd like to see that at all positions.
Is it something you're encouraging? I mean, they seem to like take reps off until they see the other guy coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we try to get, you know, our most experienced and our best players on our best players as much as we can in those situations, just to help them get better. You know, or guys that are developing that we want to see accelerate their development. We try to get them against good players as much as they can.
Have you guys solved anything on the offensive line yet? Come to any definitive decisions?
Not yet. I think, you know, we still have to see at the end of, you know, the next couple of days where Jeff and Capella are. And we're kind of holding out to see where they are, and when we figure it out, then we'll be able to be a little bit more definitive about who plays where and how long they play and what the matchups are, what the combinations are.
When do we start on Rice?
We're going to do a little bit tomorrow. What's today? Monday. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit tomorrow.
How's the loss of Tech going to affect depth at defenseman?
You know, it's a good deal for Tepa. He didn't feel like, you know, his body type was the right type for this defense, and so he was anxious to get somewhere where he could have an immediate, or, you know, fit more in the system. So that's good for him. We'll be fine.
Do you know where he's going?
I mean, I have a feeling, but you know, until it's official, I can't really say.
Is McCarthy getting really close?
Really close. Yeah.
Like daily?
Day to day, yeah. You know, I'm kind of waiting to see what Coach Alosi and Anthony said, and then we'll go from there. once again, I think it's really important that we're judicious about when we put him out there. He's got a great future, and just for 1 or 2 days, if he's not really ready, and he goes and tweaks it again, that's a bad deal for us and for him. So we're not going to do that.
If he checks out, what's a realistic, goal for him to play in a game?
I mean, as soon as he's ready, we'll get him in there. I mean, he's got to be physically ready, and he's got to be mentally ready in terms of knowing the schemes and how to fit in. He's got to adapt to the speed of the game, the size of the game, the tempo of the game, all those things. So there's a lot of work that he has to get done before we can put him in a game. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Bill.